All right, Nate. Super Bowl 59 is set for February 9th in the Big Easy, New Orleans, between two similar foes, the Chiefs and the Eagles. Kansas City is currently a 1.5 point favorite, and the total is at 49.5. If someone is new to sports betting and wants to wager on the big game, can you kind of break down what these numbers mean?
Yeah, sure. So the first numbers you see on the screen is the point spread. If you want to bet the Chiefs -1.5, they have to win by two or more for you to win that bet. If you want to take the Eagles, they need to win or lose by 1 point for you to win that bet.
Hmm.
In terms of the middle numbers, the money line, Chiefs -132 favorite. So if you wanted to win $100 on the Chiefs and not wanted to worry about them possibly only winning by a point, so you don't cover the point spread, and you want to capture Chiefs by a point as one of the results, then you would bet $132 to win 100 on the Kansas City Chiefs to win their third straight Super Bowl. But if you like the Eagles and you wanted to bet $100 on the underdog at plus 108 and didn't want to worry about the plus 1.5, then you would win $108 with a $100 wager on Philadelphia. And then the last number, the over 49 and the under 49. If you think both teams are going to combine for 50 points or more, then you would bet the over there. If you think they'll fall short of that, then you would bet the under. So the odds basically indicate these two teams are very equal teams. 49.5, I'd say that's kind of a high total for the NFL these
Yeah.
days, although scoring is kind of been going up this season. It's your opinion. Do you think the Chiefs are better? Do you think the Eagles have a better chance to win?
Hmm.
Maybe you think this should be a pick 'em, and then you'll take the plus money with Philly here. And in terms of the total, it's kind of whatever you think. You believe in both these offenses and what you saw from them on Sunday, and
Yeah.
plus they're in perfect conditions in a fast track. Both teams played really well outdoors, so
Yeah.
not in the best weather. Or do you think maybe both teams start off a little slow, more conservatively, and the defenses
Definitely.
have an answer for those prolific offenses that we saw on Conference Championship Sunday?
What advice do you have for novice sports bettors on how to bet on the Super Bowl?
First one, use multiple sports books. I would recommend doing this for any sport, but especially the Super Bowl, because you're going to see a lot of different creative props that are unique to the Super Bowl that different sports books will post that might not be available at other sports books. So just to have all the availability of a lot of different options that you could bet into and finding value, I think it's really important to have at least three sports books, but I'd recommend signing for as many as you can in the state you live in. The second one, and this is an important one, do not make the Super Bowl your biggest bet of the year. Just because the last meaningful football game until August, you don't need to try to double
Hmm.
your winnings from the season or try to make up for the losses. The point spread, the total, they're pretty efficient right now. We know all about these teams. We've seen them in the playoffs. We have 2 weeks to think about this game and talk about this game. So you're not going to find a huge edge betting the Super Bowl from a side or total perspective. If you do have a strong opinion on the game, then bet it, but just make it a normal bet size that you would bet on a normal NFL Sunday. And then lastly, I'd recommend betting on props for the Super Bowl. And when you do bet on props, you're going to want to try to map out how the game will play out. So try to envision how the game will unfold. And then based on that, you can make some of your prop bet decisions. So, for example, in this game, if you think the Eagles are going to be winning, you might look at something like Saquon Barkley over attempts, over rushing yards, and then maybe Jalen Hurts under passing attempts, under passing completions, because in
Hmm.
that game script that the Eagles are going to be throwing less if they're having the lead. And if that game script happened and the Chiefs were trailing, trying to catch up, you'd be looking at overs on Mahomes, overs on Kelsey, maybe some of the receivers to go over their receptions, over their receiving yards, and then you'd go under on guys like Kareem Hunt, Isaiah Pacheco to go under their rush attempts, under their rush yards. So things like that to try to kind of diversify your portfolio for the Super Bowl. I'd focus on the props because as I mentioned, it's really hard to bet the side and total of the Super Bowl and have some sort of huge value.